Good afternoon. We're breaking into programming to bring you an update from the Martin County Sheriff. Let's listen in.
Thankfully, today was a false alarm. However, there's a lot of things that came into play today that were extremely concerning to us. And I'll start off by kind of outlining what took place in chronological order. So just before noontime today, the Stuart Police Department received a 911 call from a number that we've not been able to verify as a valid number. So it's kind of a blocked number, a voice over IP number. But the caller stayed on the line for several minutes and said several different things. One was that there were several bombs that were planted here in Jensen Beach High School, and then another was that in 15 minutes an active shooting would begin here at Jensen Beach High School. Of course, that was concerning. Our school resource officer on scene here hit the lockdown button, but at the same time he hit the lockdown button, you know, the kids now at this point were on alert. They know their protocol. They know what to do in these events. They heard shots that were fired. They believed were real shots. We know now that those shots came from the starter guns at a track and field event behind us, but the kids didn't know that. So they did the right thing. They all locked themselves in rooms. The run, hide, fight kicked in. They locked themselves in rooms. A bunch of them were running out of the building, headed across to the businesses, which are over off of US 1 as our first responding deputies were showing up. And those first responding deputies and police officers from Stuart Police Department were told that shots had been fired, and that's why they were running. So you saw the massive response that showed up here at Jensen Beach High School. Stuart Police Department, the U.S. Marshals Task Force, the FBI Task Forces, a huge delegation of Martin County Sheriff's deputies, detectives, our whole crew, our aviation unit. We all responded to what we believed was an active shooter. Thankfully, there was not an active shooting that took place. I want to stop here and kind of brag on our youth and our teachers and our employees here at Jensen Beach High School. They were phenomenal. It was stressful for them. They truly believed that shots were being fired, but they followed their training. They followed the things that had been instilled in their minds by a lot of them locking themselves in closets, some of which were there for over an hour before they were allowed out by our SWAT team members. Some ran from the campus, gave detailed information for what they thought they heard. So everybody did what they were supposed to do. So this whole thing has turned out to be a false alarm as far as tracking back who made that initial phone call, making an arrest. I don't have any real actionable intelligence on that yet. Of course, our analysts, the chief's analysts, are working on trying to track that back. If we can make an arrest, we absolutely will. But right now, our first and foremost concern was making sure that this high school was safe, making sure parents were notified, which is a process because we want to make sure the school is safe before we start sending any information out to the parents. And of course, we want the information to be correct. Another part of this is how extremely dangerous this is. These calls, which we've had before, swatting calls, I'm not saying this is a swatting call, but it kind of has that feel. These calls are extremely dangerous, not just for the kids that are in the school and for the staff that are here, but for our responding deputies. One of our deputies was involved in a significant crash in the middle of Stuart, trying to get here in a timely fashion to protect our kids. So these calls, they produce a lot of pandemonium here in the school. The parents, of course, are at home worried, because their kids are texting them, they're seeing things on social media, they know something's wrong, but they don't know what's going on. And then our deputies and police officers that are responding are at risk because of this. So again, we're thankful, we're proud of our deputies, our police officers, and we're really proud of our kids that actually they're very thoughtful. They were afraid, some of them were extremely afraid, but they were also able to control their feelings, protect themselves, and provide good information. So with that, I'll kick it to you guys for questions if I can answer.
What's the status of the deputy in the car crash?
So the status of the deputy in the car crash is, it's my understanding that he doesn't have serious injuries, but it's a pretty significant, I saw the car, it's pretty banged up.
Now, you said that students ran to Best Buy, some students stayed in their classroom hitting calls. Running to Best Buy, the nearby businesses, I mean, is that part of protocol in these types of events?
So the question is, students ran to nearby businesses, some stayed locked in their classrooms. And the answer to that is they follow the protocol. That's part of their training. So it's a run, hide, fight. If you can't run, then lock yourself in a position where you're safe, which is what most of the students did. But some of these kids were moving to the cafeteria there by the front door, and so they took flight, which we would encourage them to do. And then they went to a pre-designated rally point, which I'm not going to compromise, but they went to a rally point. They contacted their parents, and they stayed and waited for law enforcement to arrive. So they did all the right things. They performed exceptionally well given the circumstances.
You mentioned a track meet. Were there students outside during the shooting or during the false alarm?
So the question is, were there students outside during the false alarm? The answer is yes. So we had students in the cafeteria, and then building 4, which is a 380-yard building on the back side of the property, and then some here on the track. So there were students spread out everywhere, plus the students that left the campus. It was a big
status
scene.
right now? They're on campus. What's the status?
So the status on campus is the lockdown's been lifted, so law enforcement, we're pulling out, other than the investigation we're doing to try to track back that number. And now the school really has kicked in the gear for reunifying the kids. If parents want to come get them, the school's allowing them to come get them. But for the most part, I believe they're going back to business as usual, if that's even possible. Of course, this has been an extremely disruptive day. The kids, I talked to a lot of them, they're pretty amped up, and rightfully so. So I would imagine most of the parents are going to come get their kids, hug them, take them home, and compliment them for the good work that they did.
Did the phone call have any similarities to past swatting calls, most recently the one at FAMU?
So the question is, did it have any similarities to the one at,
Any other recent swatting calls? I know most
Yes.
recently there was one at FAMU like 3 days ago.
Yes, so there have been some similarities. This seemed to be a foreign type voice. We have tracked it back to a name, but again, these are voice over IP, so a lot of these are investigations to nowhere, which are extremely frustrating. But we're really put in a precarious position. You get information that something's going on, we're going to respond, but then it compounds the problem when you have incidents like the starting guns back here. Like, that just amps it up that much more, and we're going to respond. I mean, I think every resource at the Martin County Sheriff's Office and the Stuart Police Department showed up out here to keep our kids safe, which is our first and primary goal.
But to be clear, it was similar to the call that FAMU had.
The question is, was it similar? The answer is yes. Yeah.
What do you tell parents who are listening right now?
What do I tell parents that are listening now? Well, first of all, I said it twice already, your kids did a great job. Second of all, you have to trust us. I know as a parent, I have 4 kids. As a parent, I want to know information immediately right now. And I got a lot of phone calls while I was driving up here. What's going on? What's going on? Parents want to know. But sometimes we don't know. So they have to trust us, and we're going to give them information in a timely manner as fast as we can, but we also have to give them accurate information. So it took 35, 45 minutes to give our first, I think we put a Facebook post out, and the school board did some robocalls, so it takes a little time to figure that out. And I know their kids are texting them real time, but they got to realize that if I'm going to give information, it has to be accurate.
Help us to understand. Sorry, I know the announcement's going on there. You said that they were mistaking the starter gun for an active shooter. Why was the starter gun even firing during a lockdown?
So the question is, why was the starter gun firing during the lockdown? And the answer is, it was kind of at the same time. So once the lockdown was implemented, the starter guns had already been shot several times. So we're hyper aware in our society right now of active shooters. We train it, we talk about it all the time. These students train it, his deputies train it. He is the master of training active shooter response. So it's in their head already. And then you get that lockdown, which is an alarm that goes off in the school, and then they have just heard several shots being fired. So they do the right thing. They hide, they run, they do what they can to protect themselves.
Sheriff, can we just confirm that nothing was found on the school grounds that was similar to what the threats indicated?
So the question is, was there anything found on the school grounds that are similar to the threats? Meaning, was there any bomb-making material, anything found? The answer is no, nothing at all. That's why we had an extra hour of going back through the rooms and talking to kids and trying to vet this out. But no, there's been nothing to indicate that there's any validity to these threats.
I know you're trying to identify that robo-caller that called today. What's next in the investigation now?
So the question is, what's next in the investigation? That is what we're after. If we can find who that person is, we're going to make an example out of them. And it's not just myself and Chief Zanelovic's agency working it. We're going to work with the FBI. We are working with the FBI and other agencies to track back where this call originated from.
In
Chief,
all the
you want to say
commotion, any students injured or anything like that?
So the question is, any students injured? And the answer is not to my knowledge. And we did do an assessment of the students. They've now pulled them back into the classrooms where they originated from, and they've gone over them, and it appears that everybody's fine, thankfully. Chief, you want to say anything?
I would just say that the partnership between the Sheriff's Office and the Stuart Police Department is exemplified here. We had every member of the police department here within minutes, along with dozens and dozens of deputies to ensure the safety of the community and these kids and lock down the neighborhood. We had officers at the Best Buy and the plaza over there to make sure those kids were safe and protected over there. So Sheriff said everything. He's described everything that's pertinent to this, and the teamwork is very apparent here between law enforcement, the parents, the school, and all its employees.
And your office received the first call, correct?
Yes, we did.
Just one call.
One call, that's correct.
Did it, guys? Thank you all. Appreciate you waiting on us. We're good? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you've been listening to Sheriff John Budenseek responding to the incident that happened at Jensen Beach High School shortly before noon today. The sheriff calling what happened there at the high school a false alarm, but he said the students did everything right. Just before noontime, a 911 call came into the Stuart Police Department about a bomb threat and a possible active shooting happening in 15 minutes. Well, some students actually heard shots fired. Those shots came from a starter gun at a track and field event that was actually happening on campus. Authorities have learned no one was injured in all this. The sheriff said that fortunately some of those students ran to nearby businesses and called their parents. Other students were able to lock themselves in classrooms and stay put until law enforcement arrived. So again, no active threat at Jensen Beach High School. Authorities still on the scene there. We'll continue to follow this story for you throughout the day and have the very latest on WPBF 25 News at 4 o'clock and on our website and news app, WPBF.com.